I want to walk you through this series where I'm explaining every detail of how you truly can manifest whatever it is that you want in life, that you can go through your own personal journey, that you can manifest, that you can experience joy in a way that you never thought possible. Hey everyone, this is Beth McGill, and this is Manifesting Your Heart's Desires. And it is my mission to inspire you to live a life that you absolutely love. And I've learned so much about the law of attraction and manifesting. I'm here to help you understand as well so that you can really manifest your heart's desires and just live an amazing life. So I've created this special series called Be Courageous. And this series is really for people that are newer to manifesting. It can be just as applicable to someone who is going through the process. But I wanted to create a series for people that are really newer to manifesting. Maybe you don't quite understand the vocabulary like law of attraction, manifesting, transformation. Maybe those are still a little bit new to you. But I want to walk you through this series where I'm explaining every detail of how you truly can manifest whatever it is that you want in life, that you can go through your own personal journey, that you can manifest, that you can experience joy in a way that you never thought possible. So this series, Be Courageous, we're now on episode number 4, and last week in episode number 3, it was all about doing some self-reflections and really understanding that you need to create a new model of yourself, because if you keep doing the same things that you've been doing, you will keep getting the same results. But you want different results. You want to manifest all these great things. So that simply means that you need to change. So we were looking at changing thought processes and really examining your beliefs and what you think about life and about yourself and your experience. So last week specifically, we looked at being able to release complaining, criticizing, worrying, being concerned about what other people think of you, and letting these things go, because it takes so much energy to complain. It takes so much energy doing all of these things that have absolutely no positive reflection in our life, right? If we're complaining, if we're worrying, if we're criticizing and judging other people, it simply is negative energy and it's depleting us. It's not putting us in a space where we can create. So we really need to let those things go. So I want to give you a quick story here. Last week, I was working with a client, and before we did another session together, because I do offer my H.E.A.L sessions, which stands for hypnotherapy, energy alignment, and love. Because I believe that you truly need to love yourself and accept yourself unconditionally before you can truly heal. But I was working with this client. I said, before we even have another session, I want to have a conversation with you. Like, I want to really just talk and understand what's going on, because she was having quite a few issues at work. And she's an amazing leader and an amazing person that is working to create a lot of change and wants to help people and make a lot of impact. But she was having some issues. And so this is what we've been working on. And as I was listening to her in our conversation, I realized that she was really focusing on what other people thought of her. And I asked her, I said, do you realize that, because she's in a role of leadership, I asked her, do you really understand that you're focused and you're putting a lot of energy into what other people are thinking about you? And she reflected on that for a minute and acknowledged, yeah, she probably was. And I said, well, that's a belief, right? That's a belief. It's a thought that we keep thinking over and over. It's like, I'm concerned about what other people think of me. I go, where does that belief come from? That it's important to think about what other people are thinking of you. And right away, she was quiet just for a second. And right away she said, oh, I was brought up to believe that it's really important to think about what other people think of me. And as a family, that was very important. So she was taught from her parents that that was important. It was important to always be thinking about what other people were thinking of her. And so now as an adult, as a grown woman in this very, in a very place of leadership and management over vast numbers of people, this belief was not serving her anymore. And so I reminded her it simply is a decision. It's a decision to let that belief go and to reclaim the power and the strength that she has. And so she was able to do that in that conversation. So it is so much about letting go and really being aware of what are your thoughts, what are your beliefs. So if you're ready to let go, if you've said, yes, I can let go of complaining and criticizing and judging and caring about what other people think and worrying, if you can let go of that stuff, then let's dive into today's episode. And I want to start with a quote by Morrissey. And this quote is in my book. It's one that I absolutely love. And she says, even though you may want to move forward in your life, you may have one foot on the brakes. In order to be free, we must learn how to let go. Release the hurt. Release the fear. Refuse to entertain the old pain. The energy it takes to hang on to the past is holding you back from a new life. What is it you would let go of today? Again, that is Mary Morrissey, someone that I've studied, one of my mentors, and that quote is so powerful. So what do you need to let go of? What from your past? Are you ready to release the hurt? Any of the hurt feelings from the past that are lingering? Are you ready to release any fears? Are you ready to refuse to entertain your old pain? Because if you are, I can help you to release all of those. So today, and really another way you can think about that, and I love her quote, but what it reminds me of is this. So this is the present. If you have one foot over here in the past, think of it is holding you back in the past. So if you have those fears, if you have the regrets, the resentments, the hurts, the pain, and you're thinking about them, that's like an anchor. So think of your foot as being that anchor in the past. You can't move forward into creating this life that you love. You can't move forward and manifest your heart's desires. You can't, because you're stuck. You have this foot in the past and you can't. It's not allowing you to move forward. So I love that visual as well. So yes, but you can release them. It can be a decision that you make today. But first you need to be aware of, what are the hurts? What's the pain? What are the things in my life that I haven't let go of yet? And you need to be aware of what those things are, be conscious of them so you can let them go. Now, it doesn't mean looking at the past with, a lot of emotion. It's a place of learning. We don't live in the past, but we can go back there. We can revisit it so that we can learn from it. So I'm going to have you go back, and you can either stop the video or do it later. But I want you to really reflect on every decade of your life from 0 to 10. And remember and look back and just say, okay, where was I living? Who was I with? What was I doing? And do I have any negative emotions from that time period? And we just look at short periods of time to make it less overwhelming, right? So from 0 to 10, Do I have any old hurts or regrets or resentments during that time frame? And then the same thing from 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and so on. Do I have any disappointments? Do I have any painful moments during that time? Do I have any hurt feelings? Do I have any resentments? Did someone pass? Was there loneliness? Was there anger? Do I feel like I wasted time during any particular time in the past? Did I have any regrets? Identify where those negative emotions are in the past. Again, learning from them, and decide to release the past. Decide that you're not going to let those hurt feelings, those things, keep you from living a life that you desire. Remember, the choice is completely up to you, because it is true, you create your reality. So a quick reminder about the law of attraction, because if your emotions are feeling shame and guilt and resentment, the law of attraction says, ooh, that's a lot. He's really focused on that. I'm going to give him more shame and guilt and resentment. So if you're holding on to hurt, the law of attraction says, wow, they're really holding on to it. That's really meaningful for them. I'm going to give them more. That's the way it works. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative emotion. The law of attraction gives you more about what you focus on. So if you're focused on the past, you're focused on hurt, the law of attraction is going to give you more. So that is even more reason to say, look, I am tired of that. I am done with the past. I am willing to make the changes that I need to make in my life today so that I can live a life that I desire, so I can be in joy and bliss, so that I can be in a place where I can create what I want. And I want that for you too. So today is the day. I want to give you another quick story. I was working with another woman this week, and we did have a H.E.A.L session. And I asked her, what is like the most important thing that she wants to get resolved? And for her, it was very easy, right? It was severe anger for this person. She had been divorced. And this anger was affecting her physically. It was affecting her financially. It was affecting her socially, economically. It was affecting her lifestyle. It was affecting her happiness. It was keeping her living in a place of chaos and confusion. And man, she recognized it. And I was thinking in my head, I was thinking, wow, this feels really recent. This feels like it maybe the divorce happened a year ago, because I could tell even physically that anger, that it was affecting her so greatly. And when I asked her, when was your divorce? And she told me it was 8 years ago. I thought, wow, now is the time to let it go. Because it's a perfect example, right? We can make a choice to hold on to the anger and the pain, or we can make a choice to let it go. Thank goodness she was at a point where she recognized she couldn't go on any further living in this chaos, and she was ready to let the anger go and to work with me on that. So think about it. Do you have something that you're really holding on to? Because now is the time to let it go. Now is the time. And like I helped this woman, I can help you too. It's something that I love helping people do, is to release these negative emotions. And it's a very important part of my work. If you want to learn more, you can always go to my website at thriveflourishgrow.com. So now is the time. Now is the time to let these things go. Now, in Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, she explains that the primary emotions that we need to let go of are criticism, anger, resentment, and guilt. because these emotions are the main contributors and causes of dis-ease in our body. So if you're holding on to the emotions of the past, not only is it keeping you from living a life that you love and creating and manifesting, you also might be making yourself ill. They say that the major cause of cancer is resentment. So if you have a physical disease in your body, then one of the things I do in my work is I find out what's the emotional thing that happened in the past that caused it. And then we work with releasing those negative emotions. So many reasons to let things go, right? It's usually our ego that says, no, I have to resent that person. I have to be angry at them. They divorced me. How dare they do that? That's our ego. We need to let that go. It's not serving us. It doesn't do us any good, and it might even make us ill. So there are many reasons to release those emotions of the past. And that's something that, yes, you can work with me, but I want to give you a tool. I want to give you something today that you can start to do. So Mildred Mann in 1952 wrote a book called How to Find Your Real Self. It's a great book. You can find it online. And in her book, she has something that she calls resentment therapy. I find it to be very useful, and it resonates with a lot of people. So there are 3 steps, and I'm going to paraphrase these. These are also in my book, Allow Life to Happen and Receive Everything You Desire. She says, number 1, start with today and make a list of everyone that you feel has ever hurt you, that you've been angry with, or that you resent. Like, just make a list starting from today and go backwards. So that exercise that I had you do with the decades, that's going to help because you started at your earliest point and you went to today. So now you're going to go back. So that way you're not going to forget anyone that you need to forgive. So make that list. Go back as far as you can remember people that you've been angry with or resent. Or even someone that you feel like they hurt your feelings. It's time to let that go too. So number 2, she says, sit quietly with this thought. And the thought is that I've created my life. I've created my reality. There's no blame for anyone. So the idea is, if I've created my reality, how can I be angry with anyone else? So she says, you can't. You can't blame, you can't be angry with anybody else. So fully and freely forgive them now. And go through the list and forgive each person on your list. And she says, if you have a lot of people, like, spend 10 minutes a day forgiving everyone on your list. And then number 3, when you're done, if someone comes up that you've already forgiven, and maybe there's a memory or a thought or something that they pop in your head, and it's a negative emotion, and you remember something that they did, bless them. Just say, God bless you. God bless you. You've already forgiven him. It's okay. You're not doing anything wrong. So number 1, make your list. Number 2, fully and freely forgive. Because the truth is, you've created your reality. There's no insertion, there's only attraction. And number 3, if it comes up again, if that negative emotion comes up again, or you remember that you had someone that you needed to forgive, or you see that person, you remember that thing that they did, just bless them. So that is the resentment therapy, and it's something that you can start today. Now, Mildred Mann also states, you will find that quietly, gently, and perceptibly, which is the way God always works through us, life has become more comfortable, more pleasant, and more serene. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't living a life that's pleasant and serene better than living in a life of chaos and fear and hurt? Of course it is, but it takes that conscious decision that you, and only you can make that decision to let those emotions, to let those things from the past go. But the beautiful thing is, when you release the past, when there's no guilt, no judgment, no regrets, no anger, and no resentments, knowing that there's no one to blame, there's no shame. Instead, you get to start every day brand new. And you get to look forward with excited anticipation and expectation to the day, to the new opportunities that are waiting there just for you. It's so much fun. So this is the change that must occur for you to create a new model of yourself. Like I've been saying, change isn't scary, but it is necessary in order for you to create the life that you want, so that you can manifest your heart's desires, so that you can change from being in a competitive state, worrying about what everyone else is thinking about you, competing for whatever it is that you think you should get from somebody else. So changing from a competitive state to living in a creative state. And when you're in this creative state, knowing that you can be, do, or have anything, it really is a wonderful place to live. And it's filled with lots of joy and bliss. So of course, you can get more information on my website, thriveflourishgrow.com. And you can also find my book on the website, Allow Life to Happen, and receive everything you desire. So if this message resonates with you and you think, this sounds really good, I want to release all these emotions from the past, but maybe you think that you need some help, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to guide you. That's why I come and do these shows, is to educate, but to guide is what I'm here to do. So I do offer free consultation. I will give you 30, 40 minutes of my time to see what is the best solution for you if you're stuck. Again, that's what I'm here to do. So you're not alone on this journey. It's not just you. And don't forget to subscribe, because I want you to find out what's going to happen next week in episode number 5. So thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.